Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, ducks, ducks, moose, geeses, snakes. Shout out to the snakes out there. Y'all don't get enough hype out there enough for me. I still don't know why y'all wanted to move Zootopia or anything, but yeah, that. Welcome to the Big Back Lounge. I am the head Big Back in charge, Neek. We talk about rib tips instead of relationship tips. You can follow me on all social media under the name The Price of Wings. Now, for the people that have known me for a while, I have a wrestling podcast as well called 808s and Chair Shots. We had one of my cohorts, Jeff, on here as well. Shout out to you, Jeff. Even though you didn't do a good job defending Nashville, shout out to you, Jeff. Now, the newest member of this faction, well, I just spit here, the newest member of the faction, and pretty much I call the superstar of the show,
Oh,
the glowing light of the show, the one with more common sense than I have, because I don't have any of it, as you know. Ladies and gentlemen, meet and greet the newest. I can't say she's the newest member. I'm just keep going.
yeah. I
I
mean, it's
keep
been a
disappearing.
year.
It's been almost a year, but
Yeah,
welcome to the lounge, Andrea. How you doing, Andrea?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
No doubt, no doubt. All right. Now, you don't have to tell people what you would do for a living. Everything, just a little small detail. What do you do?
For a living, I'm a librarian by trade.
A
Yeah.
librarian, which
Yep.
I know about. I just like I just like people to hear that because nobody notices a librarian. Nobody sees a lot. I'm not gonna say that. I'm just gonna say they just don't know that there are a lot of people that actually work in the library.
No, I feel you. And a
That is
lot of
on.
people who work in the library don't look like me. So
That
we
is
could
true.
be, let's keep it a buck. Let's be for real.
Yeah, it's not a
Yeah.
lot women, black men, black people in the library that a lot of people don't know about. And having you here is good. So, when it comes to the library, what do you think people miss out on when they don't come to the library?
Oh, there's tons of free stuff at the library. Like there's like if for instance like I'm just gonna go straight into it. Like there's stuff you could do. I know at my local library we have, if you want to do your genealogy, we got access to ancestry.com for free with a library card. You get
Mm,
access to all types of newspapers, news databases. There are, like I said, at my local library, shout out Hillsborough County Library. There's even sewing classes, there's game times, game rooms, there's all types of stuff for all types of people. Like if you're bored, literally get a library card and then just go and ask the librarian, like, hey, what can I do with this? There's so much stuff. Like it's not just for books and reading. Like if you want to go learn a skill, you can go learn a skill at the library. You can learn languages, you can learn how to sew. You like we have something called the universal class at our library where
mm,
it's like a free version of Skillshare almost, where you could, yeah, like it doesn't get as involved as Skillshare. Like you might not be able to get on there and learn and get like a full like 10-hour video editing course, but you could get on there, you could learn creative writing, you could learn how to paint, you could learn how to sew, writing, guitar, all types of stuff. Anything you want to learn, you could figure it out at the library. Or somebody will point you in the right direction.
that's dope.
Yeah, all
I've
kinds of
learned.
stuff. You miss out on damn near everything not going to the library.
Well, honestly, I'm learning Spanish through the library. So, and I'm
See?
also learning that it's when they talk, it's kind of like they go fast, and it's kind of like a rhythm when you talk in Spanish. So I'm learning a little bit about that when it
Yeah.
comes to the thanks to the library, local library. Shout out to the local library and the librarians like yourself doing a great service. Now, let's talk about food. Now, you live in Tampa, Florida, am I correct?
Yes, yes.
All right, so what are the three restaurants if people come down to Tampa to visit, they need to go try, in your opinion?
Oh, in my opinion, ooh, there's so many really good places down here. I feel like when you come to Tampa, maybe not a restaurant, but a food you definitely need to try. You need to try a Cuban sandwich.
That's true.
Yeah, you need to try a Cuban sandwich because those was made here. They were created here in Florida, here in Tampa, as a matter of fact.
Mm,
Created here in Tampa. Like that's our thing. You need to get a Cuban sandwich. There's a couple places I would recommend, either the Flan Factory in Ybor City or Bricados, which Bricados has been they have been around for years. Like my mama used to go to Bricados when she was my age. So yeah, those definitely those two places. You have to try the Cuban sandwich. You go to one of those two places to get it. I want to say La Teresita. That one, I believe they're near the stadium. So if you come down here for a Bucks game or say we have WrestleMania again, definitely stop off in there because that is also a Tampa staple. Same deal. They got Cuban sandwiches, good, really good Cuban food. And then I'm trying to think, like I want to give a shout out to some of our other stuff, not just the Cuban food. Like what's a really good Tampa restaurant? Mm, like I said, there's so many. Like I don't want to leave nobody out. I don't want to offend anybody.
Hmm.
Top three. We have good barbecue too down here. Like it's not like it ain't like where y'all are from. It's not like in Tennessee, but I'll give a shout out to Old Man Barbecue. Not Old Man Barbecue, Big John's Barbecue. Old Man Barbecue is good too, but Big John's Barbecue here in Tampa.
Hmm. That
Yeah.
name sounds familiar.
I mean, if
That
you've been
name
to
sounds
Tampa and
familiar.
you had barbecue, you might have been there.
I've been to Tampa, but I didn't have barbecue. We had Cuban food and we did some touristy type stuff because it was a family reunion. So we had some Cuban food and we went to what was it? Forrest Gump's or whatever it's called. I think it was there.
Let
And
me
Bubba Gump, yeah, Bubba Gump or something like that.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of them.
And it was in Clearwater, so we was down that
Yeah,
way. And we ate by the beach at some little spot, and I forgot what it was called. It was a donut place that I went to. Donut, donuts and mini donuts and beer type place. I can't remember the name of that one as well. It was a long time ago, so I can't remember. But I know the Cuban food was crazy delicious.
yeah.
It was. We had a Cuban, I think some plantains. They had a little dish. It was a couple of dishes that they had too. I can't remember because it was so long ago. But I want to go back to Tampa pretty soon, so I know the Cuban food's got to be good down there.
Oh,
And you just
definitely.
said it. So,
Yeah.
uh,
The next time, I don't mean to cut you off, but the next time you come, you gotta try devil crab too.
hmm, the
You ever?
seafood.
Yeah, it's like I don't even know what to compare it to, really. It's kind of like, it's not a crab cake,
Hmm,
but it's like the outside of it is like deviled and fried, but the inside is like lump crab, and it is delicious. You got to try. It's a couple different places you could go. I know Carmine's had a really good devil crab, and then there's a local spot down here too. But like I don't know the name of it, but I could tell you exactly how to get to it. It's like deep in the hood.
hmm.
Like if you
Sound
want
like
a
an
good
adventure.
devil crab, yeah, it's off of if you're in Tampa, I believe they're still in the same spot. If you're in Tampa, I want to say it's near that intersection of 15th and MLK or 15th and that spot where if you in Tampa, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If you coming off of 15th and MLK, if you're on 15th, you're gonna go straight and it's like along that little curve that'll take you to Ybor. That place, they have really good devil crab. So I don't
Devil
like I
crab.
said, I've never known the name. I've never known their name, but they have really good devil crab.
Devil crab. I need to put that down too. That is it.
Yeah.
Why is it
And
called that
then
though?
because it's let me I need to it's just a Tampa thing to me. But let me see if I could get you a little history. Deviled crab, yeah. It's a crab meat croquet. Like the easiest
Oh,
thing to compare it to is like
a
I
crab cake
guess a crab cake, but
or
it's
semi
not.
croquette.
Yeah,
Huh. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. That's
It's
interesting.
delicious. It is delicious. You got to try it. Get you some hot sauce. And then there's also another food that I just recently found out is like uniquely Tampa. Because I used to
Hmm.
grow up with people talking about crab shallot, and I'm just like, oh, I'm thinking that's a normal, everybody everywhere eat that. Nope. That is a Tampa thing. That's a Tampa thing. And for people not listening, the easiest thing, oh goodness, because my mom didn't make it all that often. But the easiest thing to compare it to, I want to say, is like a crab spaghetti almost. Not
Hmm.
even really. Yeah, it's like a crab seafood spaghetti pasta type of deal.
Hmm.
It's not for everybody. Because like I said, my mom didn't make it all that often, mainly because she wasn't a huge fan of it. But definitely when you come back, if you like seafood boils and all of that, or if seafood is really your thing, see if I haven't had a restaurant that made it real good, not yet, but see if you could find you a Tampa native to cook you up some crab shallot.
Hmm. Crab shallot.
Yeah.
Huh. Learn something new. I gotta remember this and
Yeah,
write this down later.
yeah.
Crab shallot. Never. Wow. Okay. All right. So since I keep disappearing, let me stay in one spot. All right. Do you have any weird food stories?
Any weird food stories? Oh, what kind of weird? What do you mean by weird?
Like you're in. I mean, weird is kind of a touchy type thing. Some things people consider weird, some people don't. So like, I think not weird. I'm saying a funny. Let's go funny. A funny food story.
A funny food story. Oh, I don't. mm, I mean, I don't have too many. Like the I do have like an odd story about food, but
Okay.
like it's not that involves like food, but it wasn't like food's not the center of it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, like I had went on a date and me and the guy sat down to eat and now you know what? No, I'm not gonna tell that story. Like no, like somebody walked in and like just interrupted us and like we were the only ones they walked up to and I'm just like, is it because we were black? Like what the hell just happened? Oh man. Oh
That's a eating while black story.
yeah, yeah. Like nobody like and this the thing is it wasn't somebody who worked there either. Like it was just walked in
Okay.
and said like, "Hey, brother, how you doing?" Like, and I'm just like, he ain't walk up to nobody. He ain't walk up to nobody in the restaurant. He gonna talk about some, oh, you look like a pastor and wife sitting down and eating. I'm just like, first of all, no pastor's wife would have had on the dress I had on. First and foremost, I could admit the guy was what he kind of did look like a pastor. I ain't look like no pastor's wife. Let's be for real. But like, nah, it was just that was weird. It was almost like he was trying to join us for dinner, but that was a weird night.
Hmm.
Um,
That sounds like a weird, odd, funny story right there itself.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I have another question, weirdo question. Uh, as a kid, have you ever been in a food fight?
Food fighting. Kind of, sort of, yeah. I have never been one to get dirt. I ain't never like getting dirty, so I was the main one running. Like y'all start throwing shit, I'm out. I'm out. But nah, I remember, I think I was in the third or fourth grade. Some boy who called himself liking me. I'm sitting at the
Mm.
table minding my business. He's like three or four tables away. I feel something hit my ponytail. I look up to see what it was. It's a damn wad of French fries. Like the potato wedges, just like mushed together, just and I'm the only one who got hit. Like he threw this shit at me on purpose. And I'm like, do you know that's not how you get girls? Like, are
Uh.
you for real right now? But yeah, I think that was the first time like somebody just ever threw food at me. I think I was in like third or
Because he,
fourth grade.
because he wanted you. Because he wanted your attention, he do some water potato wedges.
Yeah.
That is just, yeah, that sounds like a boy thing, young guy
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, it does. I've been in two food fights, one in elementary school and one in college.
In college.
Correct.
Tell me about the college one.
All right, the college one start like all of us in the like. Okay, I think people need to understand that college football teams are a bunch of big dudes.
Hmm. Yeah.
So you got to understand they outnumber you. They lift weights all the time, and they're always aggressive when it's time to go. So
Yeah.
if you're gonna fight a football player, you need to be smart about it.
Yeah, I
Pro
wouldn't
tip for
recommend that
everybody.
at all.
I wouldn't either, but they didn't say anything about food fight. So apparently, my neighbor in my dorm had a beef with a football player. Oh, well, woman, we all knew what it was.
Of course.
And he saw him. He was like, man, I don't, and we were all seeing each other. He was like, man, I don't like dude. He was mumbling and talking. So he went to get some more food. And he came back and sat down. We talking, chatting, whatever. All of a sudden, he has a slice of pizza and throws it right at him. A whole slice of pizza. We were like, what the? We looked around like, boy, what you doing? He was like, and he cusses him out. He's talking stuff. The football player talking stuff. And then he throws something else at him. So to keep him from coming near him and try to physically fight him, he started throwing food at him. And then next thing you know, some other football players start throwing food at us. And then it becomes a full out food fight in the middle of the cafeteria.
And y'all was grown men. Because college is grown.
Yeah, college is grown. We were like
Technically. Technically.
technically, yeah, we were like juniors. So
Y'all was
yeah, started a food
okay.
homie started a food fight. And yeah, it was a whole bunch of food being thrown. Security came up. They got food thrown at them. So it was a whole full out thing. Everybody, as soon as they started bringing more security, everybody started scattering.
I mean, what else was you gonna do?
Yep. I mean, it was interesting though, because we didn't know certain people could throw things. I think somebody threw a
That's
table,
uh that sounds like a food brawl.
tried tried to throw a table. Emphasis
It is
tried because
never that.
I know they tried to throw it. I think it's because artists were kind of like the ones that fold.
Yeah.
So you can't pick up the whole thing. You gotta, if you pick it up, you pick it up the other end of the table. So yeah, so they tried to do that, and yeah, that happened. Good old times at Tennessee State University. Good old times.
That's crazy.
All right, now, so got a question. What is in your fridge right now?
In my fridge right now.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, okay. We have, as you call me on a bad day. I need to go grocery shopping. You should ask me what will be in my fridge.
Well, what will be in this case then?
Oh, well, what will be? I want to get some steak, maybe some lamb. Yeah. Yeah, I like to cook steak. It's one of my favorite things to make. Steak and salmon.
Oh, okay. What
Yeah.
else?
Probably some vegetables. Yeah, you what is on my grocery list?
Mm-hmm. Pretty
Mainly just
much.
meat, vegetables, huh?
That's it. That's mainly what we're doing right now.
Yeah,
Meat
like
and
what's in my
vegetables.
fridge right now? Leftover meat from Pollo Tropical, half a crepe from last night. I went out to eat with my niece last night. Um, but what's in there right now? I got some protein shakes. I got some leftover pork from when I went to Pollo Tropical earlier this week. It's pretty empty. I'll be for real. I got my standard, my dressings and ketchups and whatnot, soy sauce, but my fridge is my fridge looks like a sad mess right now. So I'm probably when we finish, I might go grocery shop. I know I need to.
All right, so you said steak is your favorite thing.
One of them, yeah.
One of them. Okay. What cut of steak is your go-to?
My go-to since I mean it's just me right now. I probably and then like if it's just me and I'm just making steak for myself, if it's just a random Sunday, then I'm probably gonna go for a New York strip.
Hmm.
But if I'm celebrating something or if I got somebody coming over, then I'll spring for a ribeye. Then yeah.
Hmm.
Uh I am terrified of cooking like a porterhouse at home or like the real big. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to mess one of them up. Like those are
Yeah.
kind of
That's
intimidating.
yeah. Those are intimidating. Plus, you don't know how much the temperature is gonna be or effect on your
Yeah,
oven and stuff like that. So you don't know if it's gonna be even on one side or
yeah,
might be well done on this side and medium in the middle. Like that's something nobody wants.
no. And
But
then one thing I do, like when every time I make steak, because mainly this is the way I learned how to do it. Apparently, I reverse sear all my steaks. Like I start them in
hmm.
the oven and then I finish them on the stove. I get a good result every single time. The only thing
Oh,
is
okay.
like you said, like depending on how thick the meat is, you gotta be careful. Cause I
Hmm.
prefer, um, this might ruffle some feathers. Cause I don't went out to eat with somebody before and I done ordered steak and they'll be like, that pink don't scare you. I'm like, I like it bloody. Like I like my steaks rare or medium rare. Don't
Hmm.
approach me with no well done steak.
Yo,
Yeah,
don't post it.
anything above medium is a hell no.
If a person is eating a well done steak, you pretty much need to unfriend them.
Yeah,
I'm on that trail of my life now. If you eat a well done steak, you're not an all right person in the head to me. So I need to
no,
unfriend you at that point.
no, you wasting meat.
You wasting meat and you shaking the table, literally. That's basically what you're
Like,
doing.
no, because the first time I had steak, I swore up and down I did not like it because it was like my mom told me like you don't like the steak because it's well done. Like
Mm.
try it medium next time and see how you feel. So that's what I did and I love it. And then
Yeah.
I've realized this through cooking meat at home. Like when it's rare or like the
Hmm.
closer to rare that it is, it's easier to cut. It's
Yeah.
also a bit more tender too if you've cooked it correctly. So
Right.
I love cooking steak. I'm trying to master it.
Oh, I like mine medium, and that's it. No matter what cut of meat it is, medium. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah.
Also, cooking steak, I do the same thing you do, but I try to put like what is it? It's like a thing is a garlic butter type thing that they have, compound
Yeah,
they
like a
have.
compound butter.
Yeah. Yeah, and baste it
I ain't got into that yet. I want to.
or they do the what was it? They said the butter, garlic, and thyme method when they sear it, and you just pour a
Yep.
little bit on top, then put it in the oven. Haven't done that one yet, but I just get like the garlic butter compound that they have available, put it on top, and then sear it, put it in the oven, or do it the reverse way, like you just said.
Yeah. I got
Yeah.
two ways I like to season my steak.
Mm.
So I either do, because I got to keep it simple. Sometimes I don't have access to all the rosemary and thyme and all, not the fresh
Mm-hmm.
ones. Like you could get it in a container, but I'm good
Yeah.
on that. Sometimes, like the main method I learned was you baste it in butter and you season with garlic and onion powder.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it simple. It's very delicious. It's one of
Yep.
my favorite ways to do it. It's good result every time. Or, and you got to be very careful with this, um, Creole seasoning, because you can,
Yeah.
I have a secret that I do too. I don't know her actual name. I think she's changed her channel name, but Stovetop Kisses on YouTube.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Name sound
you
familiar.
don't seen it. You don't seen her videos before. You
Oh,
definitely
okay.
have. I think she changed her channel name. I think her real name is Danny. I'm not too sure. But I learned from her watching her cook steak, beef bouillon powder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You could put that, it gives it a ugh, it is so good. It adds an extra, it gives it an extra oomph. But like I say, when I do that, when I use Creole season, I gotta be careful because it can get too salty.
That is true.
But yeah, add some when you seasoning that steak, get you some beef bouillon, sprinkle it on there. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it
Okay.
is
Beef
delicious.
bouillon. Beef bouillon. Got it.
Yeah, I'm giving out recipes on here, y'all. Write them
Write
down.
them down. Write them
I'm just
down.
saying.
All right. So, like I asked people on the show, what is your all hype restaurant? What is a restaurant that people was like, oh, you need to go here. It's great. This is great. You need to go here. And then you had, and you was like, man. So, what is
Mm,
your all hype restaurant?
oh, there's a lot of all hype places here in Tampa. Wow. I gotta name them.
You can name one.
I could name one. Ooh, I am going to have to. It's one of these new fancy high-end places. Like it's a
Hmm.
couple of them actually. Like I would probably like they're hella expensive because like I'm not a huge fan of if it's gonna cost me more than $30 for a plate, like I'm not like these are places where like they're charging like $50 for drinks and stuff.
Mm.
So yeah. I'll
That's Miami
probably have
prices.
to yeah, like I said, there's all these new places popping up in Tampa. Like I feel bad naming them, but at the same time, it's just like I'm not a huge fan of the addition of the addition. Um, trying to think what other places that's all hype. Ooh, mm, there's a chicken spot down here where the quality has wavered.
Hmm.
I feel like there are times where I feel like the chicken is too dry for how much they charge you for it. And I feel bad naming them because they're a small business. But
Okay. You know the name now.
yeah, I'll tell you about them when we log off because like their whole thing is Nashville hot chicken, and it's just like I know you would know real good Nashville hot chicken. I've never had like authentic hot chicken.
Oh, I've had it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I've only had what we could get here in Tampa, and I've yet to
Mm.
have like something that is really good. But there's these high-end places like the Addition and Meat Market. I'm not too big on them. Like I don't like places that are like if you finna charge me an arm and a leg for some food, it needs to be out of this world. It can't be nothing I could go down to the bakery and get and it tastes the same. Like I shouldn't be able to go to, like I said, someplace like La Teresita or Zamar's Wings or Faux Cheesies. I shouldn't be able to go like those are more like comfort food places I just named. Like that's the type of stuff I prefer. I like
Hmm.
comfort food. I'm not a huge fan of these new sports bars and grills opening and charging people $30 for a lemon drop and $100 for some no.
Mm-mm.
That's what I can't do. I don't like that. And we getting a lot of that here in Tampa because the city is booming, and that's what the transplants want. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I can understand your gripe on that. Yeah, I can understand that for
yeah.
real. Yeah. Before we leave, since we both are on a wrestling podcast, can
All
you
right.
compare one wrestler to a certain type of food? They could be old, they could be a new wrestler, but can you
Okay.
compare?
I got one. I'm glad you I'm glad you said one.
Yeah,
Um, I would compare Randy Orton to steak.
because it keeps getting bigger.
Yeah, probably I would compare Randy Orton to steak because like he's always good. He's always
Hmm.
been good.
Yep.
It's always been top quality.
Since
And then
day
even when
one,
it's bad, it's still steak.
it's still Randy Orton.
Yeah.
It's crazy how long he's been wrestling and still just yeah.
I would compare him to a steak dinner with some fine wine on the side. Because
Mm.
I really didn't. It's not something I would have thought about, honestly, but I don't know if I'd have thought Randy Orton would have been this age looking the way he looks and wrestling the way he wrestles, especially after a back surgery, I believe.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
Randy Orton, the steak dinner with fine wine.
Yeah.
That's a great comparison. See, I knew you would think of something great. I
Yeah,
knew it.
like no.
I knew
We
it. This is
started
why
talking
you're
about
the
steak,
light
and
of
I'm
the.
like, that's Randy.
That is why you are the guiding light of the show. That is
Aw.
why. That is why. And I'm glad Jeff just said, you know what? You think she'd be good? I'm like, yeah, she'd be good. And now it's just like, it,
Yeah.
it's the
It,
smartest decision we made is add Andrea to the pod.
oh, thank you guys. It took me a minute to like kind of warm up, but I'm glad I'm there too. Like it's the highlight of it's my bi-weekly highlight.
Yeah, we're bi-weekly. We ain't doing weekly no more. We learned the hard way doing weekly. Ooh, I'm learning the hard way doing this weekly, but it's easier for me because I can do this in 30 minutes and knock it out and have
Yeah.
fun and still do fun with y'all guys as well. And I think y'all are a great highlight. Kick it with y'all and talk about wrestling. And I ain't gotta talk to people on the internet about it to see how stupid they sound. Yeah, yeah,
Then
yeah.
before we log off, before we hang up, I do want to give a shout out to one of my favorite because I realized I didn't talk about them at all. But I want to give a shout out to like one of my Tampa staples. It's a bakery I grew up going to. If you come down here, you want a sweet treat, you just want to get you a loaf of Cuban bread, go to La Segunda Bakery. Go to the original one. They're in Ybor.
Ebor.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
in Ybor. I've loved them since I was a child. They are definitely go there. If you don't go nowhere else, go there, go to La Teresita, try bricados. And then I also would like to give a shout out to some of my friends who run food trucks or
Mm.
who have like food services because there's MC Food Trap. He does what you doing? What you looking
I'm
for?
trying to write it down, but keep going. Keep
I'll
going.
I'll
I can
send them to
rewind
you.
it.
I'll
Okay,
send them to
cool.
you. So there's MC Food Trap. He does all types of different kinds of sushis. He's just very creative. Like he makes a soul food sushi with like collard greens and cornbread in it. I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send it to you. And then I have the Dill Van run by my man Dill Man. He makes Indian food, sells it every day of the week. Well, not every day of the week. He's open Monday through Friday usually. Shout out to him. And then there's Zamar's Wings. They make Haitian style fried chicken wings. It is so fucking good. So delicious. And then there's Uncle Reams. He's a barbecue truck. Yeah,
Haitian wings sound delicious.
yeah. Like I'm kind of if you want to do a part two, we can because like there's a whole lot of food in Tampa. Like the Cuban food is our staple, that's our main thing. But we have a really that's why it bothers me when people come down here and they trash talk the food because it's just like we got a lot of we have a lot of foolishness, like the high end, high price stuff I was just talking about, but we have a lot of really good stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
y'all are in Florida. There's a lot of different cultures down there, so I can bet it's a lot of different food down there.
yeah.
But
Oh, and then also my man Clam Master Jay, he's bringing like he has the NY chopped cheese, he makes a broccoli and cheddar grilled cheese, the New York sabrets. He is so like there's so many people down here who have just like I guess they're called like cottage kitchens or something. There's just so many people down here who are cooking and feeding the people and it is just delicious.
these food truck
Also,
names are
shout out
crazy.
Tom at Crowbar. He fried mean turkey.
All
Nah,
right.
Crowbar is one of my favorite places to go. It's a music venue that's a bar, but every year they have a drunken turkey fry. I went last year for the first time. Tom and Jay, they fry a mean turkey. It's so good.
Hmm. Okay, Tampa.
Yeah.
Okay. But thank you for joining the pod. We're gonna do part two to this because
Yeah.
he's adding more to the table, and it's gonna be great to try it one day because I'm planning on doing some more food ventures. But also, again, thank you, Andrea, for joining. Like you
Of
said, you're the light of
course.
the pod.
Anytime.
Always know that. And thank you guys for listening and watching on the tubes of you. And like I always say, your big back ass is always welcome here in the Big Back Lounge. Peace.
Bye.